Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Meaghan with Believe in the Run.
And today, Meaghan, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Asics Magic Speed 3.
Boom! There it is. That's magic. So Meg, let's get into it. This is a phenomenal update. The previous two models, we weren't really that into.
I didn't love V1 or V2, so I actually didn't really have high hopes or expectations for the Magic Speed 3, but here we are and I'm loving it.
The first two versions, I don't know, they felt a little cheap, and I was like, this is it, this is your plated racer. And it was just kind of clunky. It was on a regular foam. It had a TPU plate in it. Upper didn't feel right. It just didn't work out. And so the next version, I was like excited because they put the Flytefoam Blast Plus in it, but they only put it on the top layer and then didn't have it on the bottom layer. So the shoe still felt a little clunky. But as far as our team goes, it was an across the board, like nobody liked it. But this version, it's one of the best updates this year. I can only think of another shoe that had such a good update, and that would be like the Rocket X from Hoka. X2 is so much better than the X1.
Yeah, this is definitely a top update in terms of like, not even a complete overhaul, but the changes made such a difference.
Yeah, the formula is the same, the ingredients are different.
So let's go ahead and talk about some of these updates here. The upper is made with their Motion Wrap upper, which is the same material that they used on the Metaspeed Sky Plus and Metaspeed Sky Edge. So it's very much those race day vibes. It's thin, it's light, it's breathable. You do have a nice gusseted tongue here, but otherwise it's very simple.
This is an open screen door. Lots of breathing coming through here. I like the gentle padding around the collar. I like there's a little bit of padding in the tongue, but it's pretty much stripped down. Did you have any problems with hot spots or anything?
So I had a couple issues. It is not to blame the shoe, I don't think. My feet are really jacked up. The heel here, I had some rubbing and caused a blister and some bleeding.
You were wearing a short sock. Do you think a tall sock might have helped?
Yeah, so after my first run in it and I had that hot spot, I switched to high socks and that seemed to fix the problem.
I felt like it fit just fine, but there is a caveat to that. Normally I go with a 10.5 in most brands, but when it comes to Asics for the daily trainers, something like the Nimbus, the Super Blast, all of those shoes, I go a size 10, which is a half size down from my normal size. But in the race day shoes like the Metaspeed Sky Plus and the Edge Plus, I go up a half size to my regular size. Is this boggling your mind yet?
Yeah. So, moral of the story is
half size up.
Half size up for their race shoes, like Thomas is saying, that would be the Metaspeed Sky Edge, and then also the Magic Speed falls into that category.
So now we can move on, Meg, to the midsole.
So the update here, as Thomas was sort of talking about in the intro, is you have 2 layers of Flytefoam Blast Plus now. So before it was just this top layer right under the foot, but now you have both layers are Flytefoam Blast Plus. So this feels much softer to me, a little bit more responsive, and then in between these 2 layers you have a full-length carbon fiber plate.
The foam does feel more responsive, bouncy, light, like it really to me is like almost like a slimmed down Nova Blast, and then you throw the plate in it to get that like boom off the toe. And I know that you love a lot of cushioning, and so I was a little worried because I like took this out and I got a little bit ahead of you, and I was like, I really like this ride. I'm not sure Meaghan's gonna like it because it doesn't have the stack that you've been like loving.
I mean, it doesn't reach that 40 millimeters like, you know, we always want to push towards, but it is 36 under the heel, 29 in the forefoot, 7 millimeter drop. So you do have some decent cushioning underfoot, and I think the combination of the plate and this Flytefoam Blast Plus, it feels really good underfoot. I'm not gonna take this out for the marathon distance, but for, you know, half marathon and below, I think this is a solid option.
Yeah, and I do actually think this shoe could be an option for someone who doesn't want to lay out $250 for a pair of shoes. I actually would probably take this race day over the Metaspeed Sky just because I liked the soft bounce of the Flytefoam Blast Plus, where I feel like the turbo can be a little more, I don't know, unforgiving.
Yeah, it's a little bit harsher, a little firmer. This one feels like Thomas is saying a little bit more responsive, a little more bouncy and light. And it's enjoyable to run in. With all of these updates, the shoes got lighter, which is nice. I think they said it was like 14 or 18 grams. I'm not totally sure. But my women's size 8 came in at 6.5 ounces or 186 grams.
And my size 10.5 came in at 8.2 ounces or 233 grams, which is fairly light.
Yeah, I mean, this is on par with some race day shoes. So, I mean, essentially this shoe is as close as you can get to race day without the price tag. So this one's coming in at 160 bucks.
Available June 1st.
Yeah.
So things also that people commented on the Nova Blast lacking was grip on the outsole. I don't know, I found this grip to be just fine.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with traction out there. I don't think I ran in any wet surfaces, but you know, picking up the pace and cornering was all fine.
No issues with the rubber grip on the outsole for me. Felt great. I mean, it's a really solid shoe. At $160 to get a carbon plate with the Flytefoam Blast Plus, I really think this is a nice addition to someone's running shoe menagerie, per se.
Arsenal, maybe?
Yeah, okay. I really do feel like it's a good addition to someone's rotation. If you want a shoe that kind of has that tempo days I wanted to kind of test the pace and kind of go out a little faster, this is the shoe. I do a like 10-mile run on the weekends with a group of friends that it always seems to go into tempo paces because everybody gets all juiced up. If I don't want to wear like a race day shoe, this is a great shoe to put on to have that, okay, if we're gonna go fast, I have something on my feet that feels fast and responsive. This would be the shoe.
I think you could even use this on race day, like for the half marathon. I don't know if I'd want to choose this for the full marathon. You know, half marathon and under, I would be happy lacing this up.
Definitely a shoe for picking up the pace, having fun. It's definitely a fun shoe. Wouldn't recommend it as your only shoe if you're only getting one running shoe. May not be a great shoe for someone beginning. There's other options I think that are available from Asics or other shoe companies that will get you those daily miles, and as you kind of learn what you like, then you can kind of move up. So that wraps it up, Meg. Anything else you want to add, or you want to give this your magical light color?
Yeah, this is definitely getting a green. Update is really great. It's light, it's fun, it looks lovely. I mean, we didn't even talk about the aesthetics.
We didn't talk about the aesthetics. That's something I wanted to bring up, actually. Thanks for bringing that up. When I went online to look at some of the other models, this colorway looks phenomenal.
The other ones.
Oh, there's a blue and there's a black. I feel like Asics has been so good with the colors, especially with stuff like the Super Blast. I was like, okay, there's got to be some other cool colors of this. And I was a little disappointed, so got to get some more color availability out for this shoe, because it is so nice that if it had some options, I think it would be really good. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. We got more reviews coming. Meg, how can people find out about Believe in the Run?
You should, if you haven't, check us out on Instagram. That's where we post all the, you know, latest and greatest shoes, what's coming. If you haven't, obviously subscribe to this channel. We're on Strava, Facebook, you name it.
The Drop Podcast, all of it. So there's a lot of ways to connect with us. Maybe one of the easiest ways, though, is to sign up for our email. And you can do that by visiting our website. Sign up for the email. Every week you'll get an email that will tell you everything that we reviewed that week. Written, video, audio, and we'll let you know what's going on in the podcast and all that stuff. So it's probably the best way to stay in touch.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you want to see more.
What are you trying to say?
Thanks for clarifying, because clearly I can't get a thought out.
No one knows what you're talking about.
This would be the upper level school, your middle school from learning, no, okay, scratch that.